on the origins and significance of REIWA. My name is Yumi Iwasaki. I'm a member of Washinkai, which is the sponsor of today's lecture. We are a group of community members who got together last year to start fundraising for the classical Japanese literature program at UW. Washinkai's first public event was Professor Atkins' lecture on Tanabata at last year's Japan Fair. And I'm happy to report we have managed to raise enough money to award the first graduate fellowship for this coming academic year. We are very grateful to all the generous donors and to Japan Fund to make this possible. And we would also like to thank Consul General Yamada for his support for our efforts, and also Japan Fair for providing us with this opportunity. Yet our work goes on, since we must now start from scratch to raise money for the following year. But I'm here today to introduce Professor Atkins. I first met Professor Atkins last year. At that time, I learned that Professor Atkins was an authority in classical Japanese literature and an author of a book on Fujiwara no Teika. Then Professor Atkins told me that he had stirred up the attendees at a conference in Japan by challenging the belief of Teika as the compiler of Hyakunin Isshu. If you're not familiar with Hyakunin Isshu, it's a collection of 100 poems by 100 poets. Growing up in Japan, we all had to memorize at one point or another in our life all 100 poems. And we were also all told that it was Teika who compiled this collection in 12th century. So I could just picture my, old Japanese teachers saying, "How dare this young man from Brooklyn, New York, of all places, challenge the authority of generations of Japanese scholars?" So now, after having attended a number of talks by Professor Atkins and graduate students, and getting to know his graduate students over the past year, I find myself thinking, I wish I had had a teacher like these people when I was growing up. I would have been a better student of literature. Obviously, Professor Atkins' deep scholarship in the field and the fact that he's a very engaging speaker, as you will find out, has much to do with my feeling this way, but that's not all. Most of us grew up reading books from many countries, not just Japan or US. For us, you and me in this room who straddle multiple cultures, we need scholars like those graduate students in this program with deep background in world literature, who can discuss the significance of Japanese classics from a global perspective and can communicate about its beauty and uniqueness with passion and deep affection for the subject, and can do so in terms that lay people like me can appreciate and find relevant today. So obviously, we're not the only ones who feels this way. Last year, the Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs honored the Japanese Studies program of his department with an official commendation for its contribution to promotion of friendship between Japan and US over its 110-year history. We are tremendously happy for UW for being recognized in this manner. So please join Washinkai in supporting this important work at UW. And now please welcome Professor Paul Atkins.